What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be picking up on the draft grades. Today we will be doing the AFC West. Tomorrow we'll be doing the NFC West, and then continuing to the AFC and NFC East. So you Cowboys fans, videos are coming. For today, we got the AFC West. The way the video is, I'm just going to be breaking down draft by draft. The first team you'll see will be the division loser, the team I see on the bottom. Therefore, and they're on the last team I'll be showing is the division winners. So let's get started with the, why is my stuff not working? The Las Vegas Raiders. I gave them an overall solid B. I like their draft a lot. Each draft is going to be different. Each evaluation is going to be very different. Each person's going to see players differently. And as you can tell, some players like this draft and some players didn't. But let's break it down on why I gave it a solid B. As you can tell, there's a couple highlighted players I have on these coming slides. I have Dylan Parham and Matthew Butler, not to, spoil it, but those are my guys on this team. Pick 90 in the third round, Dylan Parham, offensive lineman out of Memphis. I gave it a B+ pick. This is where I expected him to go in the third round, mid to late third. And I could see him sneaking up into the early third, late second, but that would be a B- C+ pick at that. A little bit of a reach toward where the value is. A little bit undersized. He was at 284 just at about November, December time. He's about 318 now when Senior Bowl came in. So pick 90, for the Vegas Raiders. It's a good pickup, good interior line guy, can play center. He did play center. He can play center, will play all over the interior. Pick 122 in the fourth round, Zamir White, running back out of Georgia. It was an okay pick. With them declining fifth-year option of Josh Jacobs was a little bit odd, but it makes up a good fit. He's a good size running back, 6 foot, 212 pounds. He could go between the tackles. He could go outside. He's pretty good in the receiving game. He's a back that can do it all. Pick 126, Neil Farrell, nose tackle out of LSU. You'll be seeing a lot of my grades. If you see a lot of certain players later on in the draft, like the fourth and up rounds, you'll see that I grade some guys a lot higher than you might think, just based off positional value and what I believe. But right here, Neil Farrell, pick 126 in the fourth round. For a nose tackle, that's a pretty good position to pick a guy up. I believe run stuffing nose tackles in the late fourth and fifth and up and upon are going to be a B+ pickup, no matter what your defensive line looks like. That's just me. And then pick 175. Oh, excuse me, my throat is all chalky. Is Matthew Butler, defensive lineman from Tennessee. He's one of these my guys. I only gave it an A- because you did just double dip with Neil Farrell. But Matthew Butler offers that pass rush upside. I also included the A- because he's a little bit more 3-tech deficient, which he's 3-tech inside on. He's not going to play 4 or 5 or play a wide 9. He's going to play through, 3-tech pass rusher, really good pass rusher. He reminds me of a day 3 version of Devontae Wyatt, but just a guy with a little bit less of a sample platter, a little bit less of, of that win rate that, a pass rush tackle like Wyatt had. But that's why I give him an A- here in the fifth round. Pick 230 in the seventh, Thayer Munford. I have a full-on third round grade on him. So falling to the seventh is an A++. He's going to be in contention for starting tackle potentially, depending on injuries and health. And then pick 250, seventh round, Britton Brown. You took a fourth round back, who I think is pretty good. You come back with a guy that's not even in my top 400. So, it's just personal, my personal preference, D+ pick. Overall grade, solid B. I think this is a next year team. These guys will make a big impact. And then here come the Los Angeles Chargers. I gave them a solid B-. And we're going to start with the guy that I toot my horn on a lot. And this is the pick that I've told everybody in the mock drafts that is going to happen. Zion Johnson at pick 17 to the Los Angeles Chargers. That was my pick. I would give it an S+ as an elite pick. But there's one elite pick that I'm gonna show up in the first round. There's one late round pick, which you'll see later on in these videos, and there's a first round pick, S tier, that you'll see later on in this draft grade as well. Gave Zion Johnson an A plus. That's just pass block upside, interior guy. Get Justin Herbert some help. JT Woods, safety out of Baylor, was a little bit of a surprise with guys like I like Dawkins out of Michigan. I think Palomau should have been a third. I think that kid from Florida A&M, Marquise Bell, 6'4", 220. I think I would have drafted him at this position over JT Woods personally. I know this is probably one of their my guys, so I just gave it a C minus pick as kind of a throwaway my guy. Like here's an excuse for a my guy pick, so I'll just give it to you here in the third. Isaiah Spiller was my number one running back. So here in the fourth round at pick 123, that's an A minus pick. The only reason why I gave it A minus is because you have Eckler, who is a really deceivingly good 3-down back. So Spiller getting touches will be a little bit spotty for a rookie, especially with that one kid from UCLA from last year. Patrick Kelly, I believe is his name, is the back from UCLA, who's another, bigger balanced back like Spiller. But Spiller adds that receiving aspect and that long game speed that I really like. Pick 160, Otito Ogbonnia, another nose tackle in the fifth round, B minus pick. Like I said, nose tackles in the fifth and on. That's going to be a B minus and up pick no matter where. Jamari Sawyer in the sixth round at pick 195, A plus pick, almost a S plus steal, but you'll see who it is later on. I had a full third on him, just like Thayer Munford, so I gave it A plus in the sixth. Jasir Taylor, Wake Forest corner. This is just one of my guys. I just gave it a C pick. Dean Leonard out of Ole Miss. Don't like the guy. Isn't even in my top 400. Just gave it a D. It's probably one of their guys. And then Xander Hovarth, fullback out of Purdue. Just get an extra body out there with a backfield like this. Special teams guy, fills a roster. You get a cheap fullback for 4 years, so why not go and get him? That's why I give the Chargers a B minus grade. Here we are to the Denver Broncos. We have them. I gave them a C plus. Wasn't the biggest fan of the draft, but was a big fan of their first pick, Nick Bonito out of Oklahoma. I had a full second round, anywhere from 33 to 64. That was where I projected him drafted. So A minus pick for them. Really fell to them at pick 64. I think he has upside as a strict third down guy, second and third down guy right now, and then can evolve into a 3-down outside linebacker. Pick 83 in the third round, Greg Dulcich. I gave it a B minus. I like Albert Okwuegbunam. They're number one now, but adding Greg Dulcich in the third is going to add competition, which is always nice because he is coming into his third year as Dulcich is in his first. So it'll be nice to see some nice young competition at the tight end spot for Russ. Pick 115 in the fourth, Damari Mathis at a Pitt. They list him at corner. I like him at safety, but we'll see how he fares in Denver. He's going to probably immediately play slot. Pick 116, here's one of my guys, Ayoma Owazurike, defensive lineman at Iowa State. Really underrated, really underutilized in that scheme at Iowa State. And I think he could be an elite 3-tech guy here. Gave it a B plus. I'm a big fan of Delaren Turner-Yell out of Oklahoma. I think he's a big mover. I think he could play slot and outside corner. So I gave him a C plus in the fifth. Montrell Washington out of Samford. This is another one of their guys, probably. He's not in my top 400. He's not even a top 50 receiver prospect for me. If I were to really break down every receiver that came out this year, he's probably not even one of my top 50. Luke Wattenberg, I listed him at O-line, probably going to battle for a guard spot. But if there's any injury or any fault at center, he's going to immediately plug and play. That's why I gave it a B. Matt Henningsen, defensive lineman out of Wisconsin. You already got, I think it's bad to double dip on the similar style of defensive lineman. I think Matt Henningsen is a less athletic Ayoma Owazurike, and so taking him 2 rounds later, why get a lesser guy of the guy you just got earlier? Well, that's going to get less snaps. But you never know what's going to happen. That's why I say these are darts in the 6th and 7th rounds on their guys. Fayon Hicks is another one of their guys out of Wisconsin. Gave it a D. Just personally not one of my top 50 corners either. Just like Montrell Washington isn't a top 50 receiver for me. Solid D's in the back end, but overall C plus. Nick Bonito really carried this draft class though. That was one of my guys. That's one of my picks. And to round out the Kansas City Chiefs, I have them winning division and the best draft class in their division with an A minus. At pick 21, I had them. They took Trent McDuffie, which is of course UW guy like myself. Big fan of. This is where I projected him to go. 18, 19, early 20s. So I gave it an A minus pick. Really good pickup, really good need. Pick 30, George Karlaftis, about the range I had, 30 to 64, anywhere from there. He could have fell really far. He could have been an AJ Epinesa faller. George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. He's going to play a traditional 4 or 5. Might line up at 3, just depending on the defensive scheme on third downs. But I think he's a high motor, high character, just uber old school power pass rusher style. And I like that a lot. So I gave it a solid A. Sky Moore at pick 54, I gave it an A minus. I had him going anywhere from, 27 to Tampa, all the way to 64 in the second. So it's an A minus pick. They need a number one. He's going to come in and immediately be their number one as a rookie. I can see him going for 80, 1,000, and 10 in his first year. So that's just personally me. Brian Cook, safety out of Cincinnati. I gave it a solid B, a little early. I had him going, anywhere from the, from the third to early fourth. So late second, a little early, gave it a solid B grade. But he's one of those downhill, straight line, hard hitting guys that I like a lot. Pick 103. This was almost my S plus steal of the draft, but you'll see who it is coming up. Leo Chenal, linebacker out of Wisconsin. He's my number 3 linebacker. He could have went anywhere from the late first to the late second, but falling all the way to 103 was a big surprise for me. So that's why I had him at an A plus here. He's going to start for them. Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State, just one of their guys. Take him in the 4th, corner. Another shot in the dark. Can play slot. Can play outside. We'll just see if he battles for a spot. And then Darian Kennard, almost an A plus. But because of how bolstered up their offensive line, I didn't give him A plus. Oh, my leg! I didn't give him an A plus because just because he won't battle for a spot. There's too much depth, too much stardom at the O-line at this point. So he'll be a number 7 offensive lineman realistically to plug and play all over. He'll play tackle, guard. He plays everything but center, but he'll play it if you want him to. A solid grade. 243, one of my guys, Jalen Watson out of Washington State, big 6'3", 200-pound corner, plays everywhere. I think he could transition a strong safety and play a lot of big slot, nickel slot guy. I just think I'm just a really high upside guy, so I like the size speed combo a lot. And I think Jalen Watson's a 2-3 year from now guy that's gonna, could be a number 2 to a guy like Trent McDuffie out here in Kansas City. Pick 251 in the 7th round, Isaiah Pacheco, good running back pickup, 7th round, good value. Not a stab in the dark. He's a top probably 25 back for me. So taking here in the 7th round is a really good value. And then Nazee Johnson out of Marshall. He's a safety. You already double dipped on guys that could play safety like Brian Cook and Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson. So taking him at 259, one of their guys, probably a coach's guy at a D. So I'm going to round it off to an A minus. It was very top heavy. Their only miss was really 7th round pick Nazee Johnson, which was one of their guys, not a guy on my board at all. Joshua Williams is a very back end guy on my board, but Nazee Johnson is the only guy that was a real miss. A minus draft for them. And this is my draft grades for the AFC West. AFC West will be coming up tomorrow. New people, new viewers, please subscribe. And if you're returning or if you want to see something new, have some critiques, want to talk about something, please comment below please comment down below, like and share. Anything helps. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the flip.